Hey friends, it's Amanda with Beyond Birth Doula, ready to talk about a midweek meltdown. It's been a little bit since I've done a video. I just decided that this one's really been grossing me out, let's just say. So this midweek, I want to talk about what's your ick factor. Like everyone, and by everyone, I don't mean just parents or just moms or just doulas or just nurses. I mean everyone, every human being on earth has an ick factor. Something that just they cannot handle. I have a close friend, I won't say names, but she is my friend for the longest and may or may not possibly live in Phoenix. Anywho, she cannot stand the vomit, the sight of vomit, dealing with vomit, anything to do with that. That's her ick factor. For me, I can handle vomit. I can handle poop. I can handle pee. I can handle blood. I can't handle loose teeth. I don't know why, but like loose teeth, like it's such a weird, like you lose your teeth. Like how do you explain that to a kid? Like, hey baby, you know those things that you've been really attached to? Yeah, they're gonna fall out. Like, how do you explain that to a kid? So thankfully I just didn't really bring it up to my older son. And the last appointment he had with the dentist was about 6 months ago, and they told me his two front bottom teeth were getting loose. And so of course I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, I don't really want to talk about this. And lucky me, I happened to be away when he lost not one, but both of those teeth fell at the same time. And I was pretty grossed out. Even over FaceTime talking to him about it, I had to act very cool. Like, oh, that's so cool that your teeth are loose and you're pulling on them. Like, that's so gross. Like, just had to hold back that throat feeling we all know when you just want to gag and run away. So I want to know what your ick factor is. I'm sure there's ones out there that I couldn't even fathom having an issue with. And the thing that came with this whole tooth fairy debacle is now I have to figure out what is our tooth fairy going to do every time they lose a tooth. I feel like you have to keep the same pattern, like unless you just like have different tooth fairies. I don't know, is there like a tooth fairy land where they just like trade in and out? So now that my son has lost 2 teeth and I know that there's more to come and then my younger son will be following right behind him, you know, we had to sit down and really discuss this. And so what we decided in our household was the tooth fairy comes to the bathroom to check your toothbrushes, to make sure you're using your toothbrushes correctly. So you need to leave your loose teeth in the bathroom for her to collect, him or her, I don't know. Because going into their rooms, they're sleeping. I don't need the tooth fairy waking them up and having me handle that, you know, meltdown. So we decided that that's how it was going to go. It took a little convincing for our 6-year-old to understand that he just needs to follow along with the program. And so the tooth fairy decided that they were going to leave this cute little note, thank you Pinterest, on explaining when he lost them and which ones he lost and that he's doing a good job brushing and sign the tooth fairy and how much money he got. That's right, $1 a piece. The tooth fairy does not need to start giving more money. When I was a kid, yeah, I'm going there. When I was a kid, I would get a quarter. Like, I'm not going to start upping the prices because, you know, times are hard. Like, no, you're getting $1 a tooth. I talked to the tooth fairy. We worked this out. So he loved getting the letter. He loved getting the money even more. I loved that the tooth fairy just had to go in the bathroom and deal with it. But the other issue is that the tooth fairy happened to come back in with the envelope with the teeth in it and said, well, what do we do with this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want to keep my child's body part. So there's another area of parenting. Where is your limit on what you keep? I mean, I kept their first haircut, but I didn't keep their umbilical cord stub, and I didn't keep his teeth. Like, where is your line as a parent? Do you keep all of that? Is that something that you appreciated that your mom or dad or whoever kept for you? Because I just find that really gross. So as a doula, I want to know these things. I want to know what parents out there are doing these days. I want to be able to have that advice and that knowledge to help spread the word. And honestly, I need to know if I'm doing this correctly. Am I totally messing up this tooth fairy thing? So let me know what you do when it comes to the tooth fairy in your household. What the tooth fairy may or may not keep for their child. And what's your ick factor? What can you not tolerate? Thanks for listening.